Bobby Soto from the Tax
What's
Collector.
up,
What's
man?
up, man?
How's it going, man? It's all right. I'm good. Just over here enjoying my day. How you doing?
Bro, listen, man, the movie, I had to watch some parts like this. It's gritty, it's
Ah,
edgy. I had to be like,
yeah.
and how'd you feel about being like involved in a movie that has so much grit, especially at a time when everyone's kind of playing it safe, you know?
I think I think it's the best time right now to release a film like this, especially what we had in the pre-screening at the drive-in, man, because it's not educational and it's not like trying to teach you something. It's not trying to shove this information down your throat and make you feel like you have to know this or like be aware of this or like whatever have you. You know, it's a fun ride. It's a fun movie. It's like bang, 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 bang. You get through it real quick, and I feel like it's just something that people can take their minds off even during this pandemic and just enjoy something out of the ordinary. You know, it's a very specific story, of course, and it's got a lot of authenticity and also a lot of theatrics that makes it a lot of fun. And so I fuck with it heavy. If I
I
can
like
curse
that. I
on
like that. No, we'll
it.
beat that one out. I like a little beat every once in a while, man. So obviously, having a guy like Shia LaBeouf in the movie, he's gonna get a lot of
Yeah,
headlines. He's gonna get a lot of attention, and the movie's gonna lead with that a lot. But when you see the
yeah.
movie, I mean, you're the main character. You're the lead, and you're a lot of the movie. And I think that for people that haven't seen you before, it's a real pleasant surprise to see your performance. How do you feel coming out of this?
I mean, I feel great, man. I'll tell you the truth. It's like David Ayers and we met at a dojo. I was training at this dojo in Echo Park for about a year and a half, and I was working out with this dude, David. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know he was a director. I didn't know he was in a movie business, none of that. I've been acting since I was a kid, like going after this dream. And one day him and we just became really good friends, hit it off, we work out together, spar with each other, we'd like hang out at each other's houses and stuff. And then one day out of like months of our relationship, he just tells me, hey, you want to make a movie? I was like, yeah, man. Like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, I make movies. Like, what do you mean? He's like, you ever heard of Training Day? I said, yeah. He's like, I wrote that. He's like, you ever heard of End of Watch? I said, yeah. He's like, I made that one too. I said, cool, man. All right. So I was like, dude, you never told me. And I was friends with him for like 8 months. He never once told me he was a director or nothing like that. So when he told me, man, it was just a blessing, huge blessing, and a big opportunity that he offered me. And so I just took it. And then, it brings me a lot of pride and joy to be able to carry a film, from the beginning to the end. Being a brown person in this industry is like, it's up that we have to have this kind of conversation. But the truth is, there's not a lot of these opportunities coming around, And so when there's one like this, you jump. And I did.
Now, you got leading man looks, but what I like about your character and you as an actor in a movie like this is that you got that grit too. Sometimes you see a guy cast in a certain role and you're like, I don't know that I see the street in this guy, and he's trying to act street, and they put it. But
Yeah.
where do you get, like, where'd you grow up? Where'd you get some of that,
All right, so I'll tell you like this. My grandfather's been locked up since 1985. He was in Pelican Bay State Prison for about 32 years. If you know anything about the prison systems or anything like this, I grew up in Los Angeles. My grandfather's from New York. He's Puerto Rican. He came here in LA when he was in his late teens. My mom was born here. My mom and my dad met here. My mom and my dad were both got locked up when I was about 17 years old. So I've been on my own since then, man. And the truth is, I've lived in Los Angeles where, it's pretty much a place where you got to survive and by any means necessary, if your life is depending on it or the people you love. And so I grew up around that energy. I was lucky enough that when I was a young teenager, my mother took me to an acting class, and I was able to express myself there. And, being the only brown person in a class full of white kids, it was really weird. Coming from LA, where art is not a thing, acting is not a thing, it's frowned upon because it's not familiar. It's like an alien thing. And so, I stuck with it. My mom would drop me off. That way I stay out of trouble. And I just ended up liking it, fell in love with it. Did a movie when I was like 16 years old called A Better Life. Went to the Oscars. So, I was enjoying the ride, and I didn't really understand the acting stuff until about, I was in my early 20s. And that's when I met David, we became friends, and, it just took its course, and I just, put one foot in front of the other. And for me personally, it's a big deal to be talking to you right now, man, full circle.
That's amazing.
Kind of thing. Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's really cool that you can take a lot of the life experience that was probably difficult and challenging and turn it into something positive, turn it into art, you know, turn it into a career, especially, you know.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we even came back to a point where Shia and I, we were filming in South Central LA where I grew up, literally like 5 blocks from my grandma, still lives to this day. And we met a couple of people that lived in that particular part of the neighborhood. We, you know, we linked up with them. Shia knew about this. He grew up in Echo Park, where I'm at right now. You know what I mean? So we're like a 10-minute drive from each other, but we became really good friends. You know, fell in love with the way we work. He's a great person. He's like my big brother. You know, we opened up this theater company called the Slauson Rec Theater Company down off of Slauson and Compton in South Central off of the Blue Line in the Florence station. So, you know, we've been doing that ever since. You know, I've been seeing that guy for like 2 years now, every day, working, so collaborating, continuously doing this. So I feel forever blessed, you know, and even to meet Shia, you know, because of David and this movie and everything like that, it's just a blessing, and I just, you know, just keep working hard.
Yeah, on the Shia thing, you know, how do you think he did? You know, for the Latino community, I think most of the response, because I went to the drive-in thing that I think you guys were at the other day, the drive-in premiere.
No way.
Yeah. Hey,
Okay.
everybody's response was it was cool to see him dive into cholo culture and, you know, to really like embrace it. I know that a lot of people, they get about like, you know, now it's sensitive about cultures crossing and all that kind of stuff, but the response from our community has been that it was cool as hell.
That's exactly that. You know what? That needs more light. What you just said needs more light on it, because the people that don't understand this lifestyle or don't understand the Chicano community or even this cholo energy, it's not even cholo. It doesn't mean necessarily like you're brown. Nah, cholo, anybody could be a cholo. You could be white, black, brown. It doesn't matter what color, purple, pink, polka dots. Like, but it's a lifestyle. It's an energy. It's the way you carry yourself. It's the way that you look at it. So it's that thing of like, what's gonna happen? Am I gonna move or he's gonna move? It's always like this Mexican standoff. You know what I mean? Like, that's just the energy it is. And Shia is a great human being, a great artist. I mean, he's, like I said, I love that guy. He's like my big brother. So I don't put whatever people say about like this whole like controversy they made up. I feel like it's a made up controversy that was made up on purpose just to have controversy, because there's really the people that understand it, like you and I right now talking about it, you go, nah, it doesn't even bother me because that's the way it is. You know what I mean? And it doesn't make any sense that people cause this kind of controversy. But
well, I think it's going to end up helping the film because it's getting a lot of attention, and then people see it and then make up their own minds, and the response has been pretty positive from the people that see it. Okay, last thing I want to hit you up, and it's more like circling back to, you know, what an opportunity this film was for you. You're on a set with a bunch of heavyweight people. You know what I'm saying? Shia LaBeouf, you got George Lopez, you got a lot of big actors on set. And you're the man. I'm assuming you got a nice, you got the trailer. I mean, you got like, okay, hey, the star's coming on set. Did you ever feel like, wait a minute, hold on, how do I speak to these people like eye level? I'm the star, but these people are like the stars. You know, like, how'd you feel about that?
To be honest with you, man, that never happened to me. That never crossed my mind, because like me and David, like I said, we were friends. And so when David asked me to be in a movie, it's like working with somebody I love, working with like my best friend. So it's not really like this, like it was more of like, yo, we're gonna make a movie with people we love, people we have a good time making movies with. And you go, okay, you know what I mean? It's not, and then of course, you know, like you grow up watching George Lopez, you grow up watching all these people, then you go gotta compartmentalize the actor and what's happening today. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, I don't really, it wasn't a big deal. I mean, of course I respect the people and I love their work, but I mean, when it's time to work, that doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It's like, we're all in this line cooking this plate. So you got to do, you over there, make sure the seasoning is good, make sure that the meat's getting cooked, make sure the soup's at a certain temperature. Like, everyone's got to work this line. And if it doesn't work properly and one person puts up on the line, the whole thing falls apart and there's no food. You know what I mean? So for me, it's like, we're all on this line working together. So it's an equality thing. It's like, you know, we're all equal on this playing field. There is no like hierarchy, even though there is on the outside in the real world. But really, the way I looked at it is like, we're all in the same level. We're all going to work towards the same goal, you know?
Yeah, I got a big feeling about this movie, not just with Latino audiences, but non-Latino audiences. You know, and I think that's where maybe a guy like Shia being involved comes into play. I think a lot of non-Latino audiences are gonna watch this. White kids, black kids, Asian kids are gonna dig it. You know?
Yeah, man, I think so too.
And then in a few films, there's gonna be another kid, and he's gonna be like, "Oh my God, I'm in a scene with Bobby Soto, but hey, I gotta be, I gotta like step up." All right.
That's what I'm about, man. That's what I'm all about, man. That's what I want, really.
All right, man. Good talking to you, homie.
You too, man. You
Take it
too.
easy,
Have
bro.
a good day. Thank you, bro. Thank you.